This is exactly what they meant when they told children, don't talk to strangers. It's a warning against the sudden, dark unpredictability of the world. A warning I now understand in the most terrifying way imaginable. The year was the early 1900s, a time when kids were still allowed to roam freely, and I, a 10-year-old boy, was spending a solitary afternoon playing in the deep, dense woods that bordered the back of our property. The sun was beginning its slow descent, painting the western sky in hues of deep orange and violet. The silence of the forest was thick, broken only by the rhythmic snap of twigs under my small, worn boots and the occasional distant call of a bird. Suddenly, without any sound of approach, a tall, imposing man appeared on the winding path ahead of me. He was unnaturally quiet, dressed in dark, heavy clothing that seemed to absorb the twilight. He stopped and asked me a simple, yet utterly unsettling question, his voice low and smooth. Did I want to come back to his cabin for dinner? I was completely caught off guard. My 10-year-old brain knew the rules, stranger danger, but the man didn't look overtly threatening, just tired and serious. Reluctantly, and against every instinctual warning sign, I agreed. I began walking with the tall man, my silence an acknowledgement of the nervousness churning in my stomach. After what felt like a short, confusing trek through unfamiliar trees, they arrived at a small, rustic cabin. It was roughly built from dark timber, smoke curling lazily from the stone chimney. The boy was instantly and profoundly relieved when he saw Paul, a familiar family friend, a man known for his calm, steady demeanor, sitting casually on the porch, whittling a piece of wood. Seeing Paul there instantly dispelled the boy's fear. If a safe, known adult was present, everything must be fine. The boy immediately relaxed and happily went inside. The interior was cozy, if dim. The three of us ate a simple, warm dinner together in the cabin's flickering light. When we finished, the boy felt a warmth of gratitude towards the tall man for the meal. He said thank you, nodded goodbye to Paul, and then, completely at ease, left, heading back toward the main path he thought would lead home. He had only walked a few steps, perhaps 50 feet down the darkening trail, when he looked up and saw a scene that instantly shattered his sense of calm. His entire family, his parents, his older siblings, were there, along with Paul, running frantically up the path towards him. They were screaming his name, their faces distorted by an absolute, desperate panic and confusion, urgently shouting and asking if he was okay. Completely bewildered by their hysterics, the boy replied, I'm just fine. Why are you all so worried? He looked directly at Paul and asked, with a note of mild irritation, why didn't you tell them I was with you at the cabin? We just finished eating. The boy casually pointed over his shoulder toward the structure he had literally just exited. Paul's frantic energy instantly evaporated, replaced by a ghastly stillness. He looked past the boy's shoulder, scanning the exact spot where the boy was pointing, then slowly turned back to face the child. His eyes were narrowed, filled with a terrifying, cold dread that instantly chilled the boy to the bone despite the warm evening air. Paul's voice was a low, horrifying whisper, cutting through the silence of the woods. You were kidnapped by a cult 3 days ago. No one has seen you since Monday morning. The realization, the 3 missing days, the vanishing warmth, hit the boy like a physical blow. Terrified and deeply disoriented, he whipped his head around to look once more at the cabin he had just walked out of, the place where he had felt so safe just moments before. But it was gone. There was no small, dark timber structure. There was no porch, no smoke curling from a chimney, no sign of clearing. All he saw was an unbroken, dense, dark forest that stretched endlessly for miles into the deepening twilight, with the trees growing right up to the edge of the path. The cabin, the tall man, and the warm, simple dinner had completely vanished, erased from existence, leaving only a dark, terrifying mystery in their place.